Hello everyone, welcome back to your English class. Students, today we are going to take one of your reader lesson and the name of the lesson is The Price of Freedom. So students, before moving to the lesson, let us know what is the lesson all about. So this story is adopted from the book 1001 Nights. In which a queen of Persia whose name is Shehzad is threatened by the king of Persia. So, to keep herself alive, she would tell a story each night to him so that he would not kill him. She would end the story on a point when the king's excitement reaches on the topmost level. And she tells the king that she will narrate the rest of the story the next night, which eventually adds up one more day to her life. Now students, let us move to the explanation part of the lesson. Is it possible that by narrating tales one might be able to save oneself? The character in the Arabian Nights, Shehzad, thought so. In fact, she told her husband, the king of Persia, a tale every night without ending it to keep his interest alive, or else she would certainly face the tragic consequence. This time she told him a story of a fisherman. So students, here the story begins when the Shehzad is narrating a story to her husband, the king of Persia, so that he would keep her alive. So this story is about a fisherman. Once upon a time there was a poor fisherman who had a wife and 3 children. So the fisherman had a wife and 3 children. Although he was poor, he was a man of principle. Means he was man of values. Whenever he went fishing, he vowed never to throw his net into the water more than 4 times. So whenever he went on fishing to catch the fish, he made promise to himself that he would not throw his net into the water to catch fish for more than 4 times. He started early morning and returned late at night. So he was very honest working, he was very hard working man. So he started early in the morning and ended up late in the night. On one such morning, he cast his net and waited for the fish to fall for his bait. Suddenly he felt a great weight pulling at his net. So what happened one morning when he put the net in the water, when he threw the net in the water, he felt that it was a big fish that caught in his net. He thought that he must have caught a big fish. He pulled at his nest, but alas, what really came out was not big but was a carcass of a donkey. He was crestfallen. So what had really come out was the dead body of donkey, and he was really disappointed. The owl was not only disappointed, but it had also torn his nest. So the dead body not only made him disappointing, but it also had torn his nest. The nest was also torn. He took time to mend it and cast into the sea again. And then he took a really good amount of time to mend it, to repair it, and then he cast his nest to the sea again. The second time too, the nest seemed heavy. Hoping to get a big catch, he pulled hard at it again. So next time also, the net seemed really very heavy. This time too, he wished his wish remained unfulfilled. Caught the nest was a big basket full of rubbish, and this time too his wish remained unfulfilled. He did not catch any fish. What he caught was a big basket of full rubbish. He was not only unhappy, but he was annoyed too. He was in very bad mood. He was angry too. "Oh fortune," he cried, "don't taunt me, a poor fisherman who can hardly support his family." So what happened? He started cursing her fortune. He started cursing his luck. He cast the net once more. Yet again he pulled him back. He brought it up with a great effort, only to find the net full of shells, stones and mud. And for the next third time also, he threw up the net into the sea, but he caught was not a fish but a net full of shells, stones and mud. What would you or I do or anyone do in such circumstances? The fisherman did the same, said the Shahzad to the king. And the Shahzad to the king, he said, what would you do or I do or anyone do in such circumstances? He was left with only one more chance. He threw his net for the fourth and the last time, as he promised himself to cast his net in the sea only for 4 times, so it was the fourth time and the last time. This time too it seemed heavy and he pulled it up with all his might. And this time too net seemed very heavy and he pulled the nest with all his might. Might means strength. Sadly, even this time there was no fish, and this time also he did not get any fish. Instead, there was a yellow jar which seemed full. The mouth of jar was well sealed with lead. The poor man consoled himself, I will sell the jar, and with the money I get for it, I shall buy a measure of wheat. So what did he find in that net? He found a yellow jar. He found a yellow jar in that net, and the poor man consoled himself, and he said, okay, I will sell this yellow jar, and whatever money I will get from selling this jar, I will buy some rice, I will buy some wheat for my family. At least he had something now. Before taking out jar to sell it, he examined it and shook it to see if it rattled. So before selling it, he examined it, he checked it if it made any sound. But he heard nothing, so he did not hear anything. Since there was a seal on it, he thought whatever was inside the jar would definitely be of value. So the jar was well sealed, so he thought that there is something precious in the jar, therefore somebody had sealed this jar. He took out his knife and pierced it to open with great difficulty. So with his knife he cut the lid, he cut the seal of the jar. Though the jar was very heavy, to his surprise there was nothing in it. He turned it upside down, yet he found nothing. So though the jar was very heavy, but he did not find anything. He did not find anything. He turned it upside down, but all in vain. He did not find anything. All of a sudden, a thick cloud of smoke began to rise from it, making it entire place misty and eerie. And all of a sudden, what happened from that jar? A thick smoke came out. Out sprang a gigantic figure, throwing the fisherman back in horror, and he almost fainted. And from that smoke, a huge figure came out. A huge figure jumped out of the jar, and the fisherman was so terrified that he almost fainted. Slowly he gathered some courage and stammered, who are you? How did you get stuck in his jar? Slowly he gathered his courage and he gathered his consciousness, and he stammered. He asked in breaking voice that who are you and how did you get stuck in this jar? He looked at the fisherman haughtily and said, who are you to question me? I am here to kill you. And the huge figure answered the fisherman back in very angry voice, and he said, who are you to question me that? I am here to kill you. What have I done? I helped you to get out of this jar, and this is how you repay me, asked the fisherman, alarmed at the thought of dying. And the fisherman thought that I would die. He was so terrified. He said, is this the way you pay anyone who makes you out of the jar? The genie was in no mood to listen. I am going to kill you no matter what you say. You can only choose the way you wanted to be killed. Genie was not in any mood to listen anything. He said, I will definitely kill you. I am here to kill you. You can only choose the way how you wanted to die. But why? Pleaded the fisherman. Fisherman requested him, but why? At least tell me the reason. Why do you want to kill me? I do not have a choice, said the genie. However, I can share my story with you if you would like to listen. He said, I don't have a choice. Okay, if you want to listen to my story, I can tell you that. So he began the story of genie. He had rebelled against the king of genies. In order to punish him, the king had shut him up in the jar and sealed it with his lead seal and thrown him into a sea. So the story of genie began, and this genie, which was present in that jar, which was kept in that jar, he had a huge fight against the king of genie, and in order to punish him, the king had shut him up into the jar and thrown him into the sea. The genie vowed that he would make the person free who freed him for the first 100 of years a rich man, and the genie promised himself that अगर कोई भी मुझे first 100 year में मुझे free कर देगा, I would make that person a very rich man. But sadly, nobody freed him. Then he vowed that anyone freed him within the second 100 years, he would give him all the treasures in the world. He still remained captive. And again he said, he promised himself again in second hundreds of year, if someone would give me freedom, I would give him all the treasures in the world. But nobody freed him. Then what happened? Asked the fisherman, eager to know more. And the fisherman said, then what happened? After 300 of years in jar, genie promised to make his savior a king and be faithful attendant. Still nothing changed for genie. And then again the genie made a promise to himself that in next hundreds of years, if anybody will make me free, I would be his attendant. I will make that person a king. But nothing changed for genie. Nobody freed him. Staying cooped in jar for so many years had only angered genie. So he was cooped in the that jar, and which grew him more furious and more angry. He declared to himself that whoever released him would certainly pay the price by dying at his hands. So the fisherman had to die. And again he made a promise to himself that anyone who will make me free, I will kill that man. So the fisherman had to die. The distressed fisherman lamented at his ill luck. Though the fisherman, the poor fisherman, started crying. He started cursing at his bad fortune. What an unlucky man I am to have freed you. I beg you to spare my life. He said, I beg you, don't kill me, spare my life. I am such an unlucky man that I have freed you. The genie, waiting to enjoy his long-awaited freedom, grew impatient and got ready to kill fisherman. The miserable fisherman tried to save himself one last time, and the genie very eagerly wanted to kill that fisherman, but the fisherman tried to save himself one very last time. Since I must die, he said, before I choose the manner of my death, I request you to kindly tell me if you really were in the jar. So he said, the fisherman said to the genie, he said, I know I have to die and I have to choose the manner how I will die. But before that, I just want to ask you a thing, that were you really in the jar? Yes, I was, thundered the genie. Genie said in very angry tone, yes, I was there in the jar. The fisherman said, how can I believe you? This jar is so small and you are so huge. How could you have been in that jar for 400 years? You are playing a trick on me. I must see it to believe it. The fisherman said cunningly that, how can I believe you? You are so huge and this jar is so small. How can I believe that you were there in the jar? I must see it to believe it. On hearing this, the genie became furious and turned into a red hot smoke. On hearing this, the genie got very angry and he converted himself into a red hot smoke. He blew himself into the jar and shouted, and then he entered in form of smoke into that jar, and he shouted, when unbelieving fisherman, here I am in the jar, do you believe me now? He said, okay, you were not believing me, now you see I am in the jar, do you believe me now? On hearing this, the genie, instead of answering the genie, the fisherman sealed the jar again. And instead of the fisherman answering him, he sealed the jar again. He said, you asked me to choose the manner in which I wish to die. Now it is your turn to listen what I plan to do with you in the jar. Now the fisherman played his trick and he said, now earlier you were telling me and you were telling me to choose the manner in which I will die. Now I will plan your future in this jar. Shahzad was smart enough to stop her narration when the king was eager to know more. This added up another day to her life. So Shahzad ended the story here only, and she told the king that I will tell you the remaining part of the story the following night or the next night. So he ended up the story where the king wanted to know what happened to the genie, and this trick by Shahzad added one more day to her life. So student, this was your lesson all about. I hope you have understood it.